Hello everybody and welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube channel. It's Corey, and listen, obviously we've had two major first team departures, one a little bit more major than the other, but obviously Sebastien Haller has left. He has gone to Ajax in the Eredivisie. I believe it's around 20 million. I'm not sure on the structure of the deal. Could be a big block. Apparently that's been one of the requests, to have that money, to have that £20 million to spend. Fingers crossed with his board. And obviously Bobby Snodgrass is going to leave and go to West Brom on an 18-month deal. Trying to break this up, I mean, arguably we've lost a little bit of squad depth here, particularly with Sebastien Haller. We know we've only got one recognised striker now in Michail Antonio. You'd hope that the decision was made with a replacement really, really well lined up and ready to go. I'm a bit concerned because from all accounts, this deal has gone very, very quickly. Obviously, Ajax have come in. Haller's played in the Dutch league before. On the Haller thing, it hasn't worked out for him. Listen, I think technically he's a good player. He wins a lot in the air. He just doesn't fit our system. And we've tried him. You know, arguably the most success he had was in that 4-4-2. But other than that, when he's been in a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3, even with the wing-back system, it just hasn't worked for Sebastien Haller. And listen, I wish him luck. I do think he's technically a good player. I think he's going to thrive in that Dutch league, in that Ajax team with a lot of possession. They'll carry him forward. He'll have a lot of chances in the box as well. He'll have Tadic behind him. It's a good move for him. West Ham, but you look at the West Ham side of things, we've lost a lot of money on Sebastien Haller in an 18-month period for a player that was coveted across Europe, and a lot of teams, even the likes of Manchester United, were looking at. We've lost money there. Obviously, the rumours are that we're trying to pay off what we still owe Frankfurt by selling Haller, which is nuts in itself. Again, you just hope West Ham bring somebody in, because I said even before we got to this window, before I thought Haller was leaving, that actually we need to bring in Josh King. We really need 3 to 4 senior strikers. It's ridiculous. A Premier League club, I can't remember a Premier League club that's not had a decent number of strikers, senior strikers to choose from. And I think it's disgusting. And I actually think that long term, if there's another injury to Antonio and we don't bring anyone in and there isn't a replacement lined up, it's going to affect us again. It affected us enough when Antonio went out. So I hate to imagine with Haller out the side, and really and truthfully only Odebeku as the only guy we can call up other than playing maybe Bowen in a 9. But yeah, look, it remains to be seen. Josh King's clearly the target. I know David Moyes is interested in him. I've been an advocate for it. I do think it's a good deal for us. If we get him for the right money and we don't spend silly money here, obviously he's leaving Bournemouth at the end of the year regardless. I'd like to see him come in. He's versatile. He's a good finisher. He's that type of striker that can stretch defences. He's played in an expansive Bournemouth team. It's slightly different with West Ham, but certainly looking on the counter, I think Josh King would slot in. And listen, I've been on numerous videos since the summer suggesting I'd like him to come in. Another rumour has been Moussa Dembele from Lyon. I can't sit here and say I've watched too much of him, but in that mould of a player, he's got pace about him, he's got mobility about him, in that type of striker that David Moyes wants. And I think that's what he's aiming for here. It's imperative that the board give him that money. I don't want to see this money, tied up in a possible Ben Rama deal in the summer. It has to be given to him now. He has to be given the resources and given the team that he needs. And listen, I'm sure a lot of you out there are saying, I feel bad that Haller is going, and some of you don't believe he never fitted the system and never fitted the side. But ultimately, Moyes has now got a chance to bring in players that he wants. And I think overall, that's going to suit West Ham, hopefully, during these next couple of months and towards the end of the Premier League season. Getting on to Robert Snodgrass. Again, I guess it's kind of been on the wall a little bit. He has had very, very little playing time. I like Robert Snodgrass. I like him as a man. I like him as a player. His work ethic, his characteristic, his personality. I'm sure he's important in terms of squad morale. He actually had a purple patch at West Ham. I remember after he come back from Villa under Pellegrini, he proved himself. They're all characteristics and attributes that I think West Ham fans love to see in a player. The concern is, of course, you get rid of someone like Snodgrass, and although he hasn't featured too much, he is a little bit of squad depth, particularly in that centre midfield role. And I think we're now currently left with just Mark Noble as a backup centre midfielder to Souček and Rice. And listen, I've been on watch-alongs and fans' voice, and we've said the same thing. If there's a major injury to one of them, West Ham are really going to struggle. We think we've struggled enough with Antonio out the side. Taking Souček or Rice is really, really going to hurt us. So, again, disappointed from a squad depth perspective. I do get it. I do understand possibly letting him go towards the end of the contract. I'm not sure we're going to get too much money for him. I hate this idea of wages off the off the bill. We've cut so much from this squad. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuse to get rid of him just because of wages. I'm looking at it more, and I'm hoping it's more of a move possibly for John Lundstrom. I know there's a couple of other names that have been linked to West Ham, particularly from Slavia Prague. We need a quality centre midfield backup, or a player that can possibly challenge to come into the first team, maybe last 30 minutes. Give us an opportunity to rotate in games that possibly West Ham are winning, and we don't need to use Rice or Souček, and there's not a drop-off in quality, and that's the fear sometimes with someone like Mark Noble, even with Snodgrass, that if you bring them in, the lack of mobility, the athleticism can hurt us, because we are such a functional, athletic side at the moment. But listen, he was a great servant for West Ham. The fact he come back from Villa, proved himself, and managed to become a bit of a first teamer and get that contract, fair play to him. Again, the caveat to all of this, of course, is we need to go out there and we need to be proactive in the market and do something that these owners are pretty much incapable of doing. And I'm asking something that I'm not sure that they've thought through. The Haller thing, the Snodgrass thing, I'm not convinced this has been done necessarily with active replacements in mind. Back to the Haller situation, the issue with selling someone like Haller, even if they've got £20 million, is in a lump sum, take all the losses out of it, clubs will know West Ham now have that money, and they've got the right now to try and bump that price up and make it difficult for us. And I think this is their lack of business acumen comes down to this, in particular with negotiation. The fact that the clubs will know we've got this money kicking around, and they will drive that price up and they'll make it difficult for us. And it's a shame that we've done it in the way that we've done it, that is so publicised, that the moves come around so quick. Again, West Ham have just got to act quick here. And I think not only just act quick from a business perspective, but from a football perspective. And not having Snodgrass, we might be able to get away with. Not having Haller, not having an option to rotate Antonio now if he wants to play that senior striker, could come back and hurt us. And we've seen Antonio, particularly, over the last few months, he struggled with injury. I don't want to risk him unnecessarily. Again, I guess we've lucked out a little bit with that break in the FA Cup and going into the Burnley game, but the fixtures will come thick. And I just think we need to get someone in quickly. I don't want none of this mucking around. I hate it, dragging it to the last day. That would obviously be my concern, as it's always in the transfer window with these owners. But listen, best of luck to Sebastien Haller. I think he'll do well in the Dutch league. I think Snodgrass will do well for West Brom as well in the Sam Allardyce team. He's got good work rate, experience, fantastic set pieces. I think he's going to suit them right down to the ground. So let's just hope we get the replacements in and we don't dawdle, because I think that's the worst thing we could do at the moment. But listen, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Sebastien Haller, because in some aspects, I'm just happy not to talk about it week in, week out, the squad selection. But let me know, do you think West Ham should have kept him for a bit of squad depth? Should we got more money for him? Arguably, that is the case as well. Do you think maybe Moyes should have tried to change it a little bit more to fit him? I'm not sure. Robert Snodgrass as well. Do we need to bring someone in immediately? With Snodgrass, do we keep him in for a bit of squad depth? I know he's now gone, but are we going to regret that? Let me know in the comment section as ever. I will be back very shortly with a predicted 11 for the Stockport game back in the FA Cup. Fingers crossed it's not postponed with any COVID cases. And until next time, as ever, take care.